Morning and welcome to Three Dudes and a Lady. Join us for a little motivation, a little inspiration, perhaps a way to cope with your day. I am Mike Jones from Virginia, and my gratitude this morning is for Virginia it being rich in history and on a good path to the future.
Good morning, folks. My name is Earl Rule. I'm out here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And my gratitude for this morning actually is to stay in North Carolina because I'm blessed and honored to be settled here. I'm originally from the Northeast, but I love the state, love this area, and also helps build my career as well.
Good morning. My name is Jay Anderson from the wild, wonderful state of West Virginia. My gratitude is you three on this platform. You guys inspire me on a daily basis, and honestly, I can't get enough of it.
Hey guys, I am Christine Wright out of the great state of Florida. My gratitude for the day is I am in the exact place where I should be at this very moment, and I am super grateful for that. Today, Jay Shetty talked about potential and pain, right? He brought up an example of somebody, her name's Susan Cain. She's an author now, but she was working for a company as an introvert that actually celebrated extroverts. So she thought she was going to get this promotion. She didn't end up getting it. She walked out of that career, and she actually became an author, and she wrote a book named Quiet. So what Jay was saying is sometimes the obstacles in our life are actually pivot points for us. When your back is against the wall, we become more resilient, and within that, we're going to become more confident, right? You're going to be able to find your potential in that pain. Good times are great, but they don't always allow us to reach our full potential. When you're under pressure, you can discover how hard you can work, how far you can actually really go. Jay brought up the story about his career path, right? He had 4 months worth of money saved for him and his wife, and he said he was freaking out the day that he lost his job, but he then went to work the very next morning and started emailing everybody, and it ended up becoming the best year of his career. So a lot of times we can find that, right? And he also brought up an analogy about quicksand and how obstacles are very similar to quicksand, right? The more you wiggle to get out of the quicksand, the harder it is, right? You're going to go down, right? Obstacles are the same way. You only struggle more to get out of it, right? So he brought up 3 things that we can do. First, take a pause. Then take some deep breaths. Then you take the stress and pain you feel and put that into mindful action. You can come out stronger than you ever were, right? And I know for me, there's been a lot of things that's happened in my life for careers, for kids, everything, right? And I'm a firm believer that God has a place for us and He has a plan for us. So if something bad happens, I'm always looking for potential. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Like, how can I be better? What do I need to do? Right? A lot of times we can pray over that or meditate, depending on your belief and your faith. But I know for me, it's huge, right? Like knowing that, we're going to have struggles. There's going to be obstacles that we face, but how do we get out of that? How can we move to get out of it, right? We have to take action. You can't just stay stagnant, right? In anything. What were some of you guys' takeaways?
I think that's very strong. And you know what they say, when there's a storm in the Bible, it says when there's darkness and there's a storm, there is a light at the end of the tunnel if you follow in God's word. And yes, Christine, you were spot on. We all go through life struggles one way or another, whether it's personal relationships, work, career, whatever it is. I mean, no day is perfect, but whenever you have those struggles, I think it's time to open up the mind, take a deep breath, and just try to kind of be creative with it. So I think that's a key point right there.
Yeah. Jay, Mike?
I got the song of this episode, guys. Mama said there'd be days like this.
Well, I mean, you're right. You're right, Mike. I can't help to think, and I went back to look at my notes. But I swear this conversation that Jay Shetty just said, and listen, follow me just for a minute. Just ride with me here. The last four podcasts that we've listened to from Jay Shetty, constructive criticism, we learned the acronym SAO, situation, action, outcome. Okay. He touched upon that today with potential pain. Under the keep trying, when we think we've exhausted all avenues, we haven't. He touched upon that today. Primal scream. Sometimes when you get to that point, a little screaming and shaking gets the body loosened up. He touched upon that today. Wiggle room. Do we allow ourselves enough wiggle room to be able to move forward? He touched up on that today. I feel like today he actually finished the painting to us. We got to see from today what all those things look like on a painting. And to me, that's kind of how I kept thinking. It's like, wow, man, we just talked about this little segment. We just talked about this little segment. He took each and everything that he said today and actually drew sharp lines to us in each of those previous podcasts. And then today, he put the paint on the canvas and showed us the picture of it. How special is that? Guys, if I misread that, please just chalk it up and say, Jay, you're a dumbass. I will listen, but that's my takeaway.
I think that's good analysis. And boys and girls, join us tomorrow to see if Jay Anderson is right, because it might just be the beginning.
For sure. And you guys, and Jay, you made a good point. Like he's just wrapping everything up in a big bow for us, right?
Mhm.
And this is one reason why we do this, right? Because think about it, like all of us have went through pain, right? In some form or fashion. Everybody goes through it, and you're going to go through it again and again and again. It's going to happen, right? It's part of being a human in this world, right? But a lot of the things that Jay teaches us is trying to help us get through that pain. And think about it like this, like Mike, you brought this up a lot when we first started talking about this platform and doing this platform. Even if we could reach one person and impact that one person, think about our pain in that way. Like our pain, I mean, yeah, it sucks. It sucks going through pain. It does, right? And it sucks even more when your kid's going through it and you're kind of helpless trying to help them go through it, right? But it sucks, right? The whole thing just sucks. And we get that. But at the same token, like sometimes our pain is the reason we're going through that pain is so that we can help somebody else get through their pain, right? Because there's steps that we took to get through that pain, right?
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
here to help others get through that same pain that we managed to get through. That's our
Wow.
job.
Strong. Good job,
Right.
Kristen. Wow.
I've been working
Yeah.
on myself a little bit.
Yes, that and you know that's the beauty behind all this is uh when we and it's kind of like an exercise. You almost have to repeat this down the road to keep your mind and memory muscle intact because how easy do we're very forgetful in processes and things that can make it easier for us. Humans by nature are very forgetful of that. And that's what Jay Shetty's trying to share. You know, he's like, look, if you pay attention to this, or this, you know, you're going to make it easier for yourself. How could you not like that?
Yeah, true.
And I think the rewarding part about this is when you're helping somebody who's in distress and helping them with their pain, you can see the answers, but they can't. You can help them by giving them the guidance that they need. And, sometimes they'll thank you for that because sometimes, they hit a blind spot and they realize what the lesson is that they learn about what they're going through. And they realize, you know what, Earl was right. And sometimes you can say it's a rewarding spot. I mean, you can argue that it could be also a turning point for something else.
And it almost builds your confidence, right? And what
It
you
does.
look through. Yeah. And then, humility and being vulnerable and transparent and authentic, right? All those things play a part in this, right?
Hmm.
And it's who we're meant to be. We are meant to help other people. That is what we're meant to do. Introvert,
But
extrovert, it doesn't matter. Like, look at the Susan girl on Jay's video. Like, she went from being in total pain for the work that she was doing, and she went and wrote a book. And how many people did she impact by writing that book, right? Like, I want to go read it because I'm an introvert. So I just want to see what she said about introverts.
hey, Christine, I want to bring up something that I know all three of you don't know because you don't live in my area. We had a near catastrophe here just a few days ago in the town of Morrisville, which is right near the airport. We had a three-alarm fire that destroyed a big apartment complex, 80 people without a home. And it was devastating. They don't know what the cause was, but the thing is, the firefighters had to make a decision. Do we try to put out the flames or do we go in and save lives? That's how devastating it was. And everybody was able to get rescued out, but the pain that they go through knowing that they lost everything. But what really puts a smile on my face though is how the community comes together to help these people, not just the Red Cross, but the churches, the neighbors. Everybody sees the pain, but how we deal with the pain and lend that helping hand that'll make us feel good. So, you hear about these tragedies, but you also hear about miracles.
Love that.
Yep.
Good point, Earl. Jay,
Go
Mike.
for it, Mike. Go for it, baby.
Yeah, go for it, introvert. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what Earl just said, and I am I am unhappy or displeased by where we are as a nation right now. Because thank God for the churches and the Red Cross but also your federal government should come to aid with organizations like FEMA. And that should be colorblind, whether or not you get aid. And right now, I feel like it isn't. So I don't know if North Carolina is a red or blue state, but it shouldn't make a difference when we have a tragedy.
Boom.
It's not, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't watch the news. I rarely watch the news, but if I do, all I hear is this is a mixed state. It's a mixed state. That's all I hear. And when I
Yeah.
hear stuff like that, I shut everything off and I immediately focus on something that's gonna make me feel positive.
And honestly, I think every state should be a mixed state.
That's a case of what they call deja vu.
Boo. Right.
Deja vu. Same shit, different day.
Exactly, Jay. Mic drop.
It's kind of like that dog that Myra was telling.
That's where I got it from. There was another clip that one dog said, "The word of the day is deja vu." And the other dog said, "When you think you've heard that shit before." Oh.
So good.
Hey guys, listen, it's obvious that we're not licensed therapists, and we do like to have a little fun on it. But sometimes when we get perspective from the AppCom through Jay Shetty, sometimes a painting, a picture has become very clear to us that maybe we didn't see. Sometimes he leads us to, I'm going to put this mirage of things that we've discussed in the past and show you what it looks like in real time. And the potential pain is real. It is real time because we all, as individuals, go through that. So please, please make sure you join us. Not only watch our shorts, but watch the actual programs because that's where you'll understand why we say what we say.
And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all this content. And like Jay said, please come back for more because You just may learn something, and it might bring you joy and education.
Deuces.
Peace.